We do have to give the Rams credit, though. The Rams came in to a tough spot. The city was on fire. I mean, it just felt like it was, even though they were favored, and they ended up at one point being tied for the biggest spread ever in the divisional round for the road team.
Really?
Because usually, if you've earned the home game in the divisional round, you're a team that's done really well.
Yeah.
So for the Rams to come in, they were 3.5, then it went to 4.5, it went back to 3.5, but 4.5 is the biggest spread ever for
That's
the road
incredible.
team
Right.
in a divisional round game. So they came in and they did what they had to do. And it was a lot like Philly last year, although the Eagles had more of that team of destiny glow to them.
Right.
But the Rams, they could have won that one. So they got a step farther than they did last year. They seem every bit as good, if not better than they were last year. There was much of the season we're saying they're the best team in the NFL. And hey, they came in and they earned it, and we can't complain about next week. I mean, because let's be realistic about it. After what the Seahawks did to the 49ers on Saturday night, how confident would we reasonably be that the Bears could go to Seattle and win? I think that would have been asking a little too much from this Bears team right now.
Yeah.
Rams, Seahawks, hey, sign me up for that. That could be every bit as compelling as it was when we saw them play the last time.
Well, the Rams they've been there, done that, right? So they're not going to be uncomfortable up in Seattle. They're going to go, we come here every year. What's the big deal? We see these guys every year. We know what this is all about. We've seen that they're going to be one of the few teams that's going to go, wait, we know we can move the ball in the Seattle Seahawks. Now, the Seattle Seahawks defense is playing at a different level than I think even on that Thursday night game.
581 yards. They can't be playing any worse than they were that night.
That was the worst game of the year for them on the defensive side of the ball. McVay cracked the code. But, yeah, we're set up here for an awesome NFC Championship game. It's the Seahawks and the great team they got. I mean, they are flying high right now. Their defense is incredible, right? I'm not going to say it's the Houston Texans defense, but it's just barely a notch below and how special it is. It is a Super Bowl caliber dominant defense that I love watching. So, yeah, you're going to see, and McVay and company are going to have to get in the bag this week and certainly come up with some new tricks and whatever else to attack the Seattle defense. But, to your point, they've been in these situations, and they might have not played as sexy or moved the ball quite as consistently as the Bears did all night, but they didn't make mistakes, right? They didn't have drives that ended up in empty nothings where we got down there and went forward on 4th and down and didn't do any of that, right? We didn't see Matthew Stafford really force any balls, maybe other than one early on. I feel like Kevin Byard could have had an interception. So in all, yeah, they know how to play in these moments, and they're certainly not going to be scared. They got Super Bowl caliber traits, as we know. It wasn't that long ago when we won it. They still got a few guys on the team, and the biggest thing is McVay and Stafford are there to teach everybody how to be that way. And, impressive win for them on the road in a hostile environment.
You said McVay cracked the code the last time they were in Seattle. He may have felt something else cracking last night out in the cold. Here's McVay and Stafford after the game talking about the Rams' big victory.
What an unbelievable, job by, again, like I said, by our defense today, getting us the ball over and over again, whether it be 4th down stops or turnovers. They were clutch and timely, and that's what it takes to win in the playoffs. Sometimes offense going to go out and have a great day and find a way to win it. Sometimes defense going to go out there and have a day like they did today and keep us in it for as long as they did, and then make the play at the end to get us the ball back. So it's a team effort. We got a resilient group. Love being a part of it. Obviously, things we can do better. But we found a way to win the football game, and in January and February, that's what matters.
I'm really excited because I can dive into this and I can be better for us, and we'll have to be against a phenomenal defense next week. But guys just kept battling. They kept believing, and that's what it's about. There's no style points. It's about being able to survive and advance, and we were able to do that in a tough, hostile environment, and it was cold as shit today.
Thank you again to the control room for not bleeping the word.
He made a few comments last night in the press conference that I thought were very funny. Like, he was like, "You guys aren't going to laugh? You didn't think that was funny?"
He looks like a guy, and since he's in L.A., it's a whole Hollywood thing. He looks like an actor who's changed his appearance for a role.
I've never seen his beard like that. I've never seen it like that long. He's usually pretty tight and groomed and pretty perfect when that. When I saw him in pregame last night and we talked for a second, I literally kind of had a double take at first. It was like, because he had the hat on too. I was like, is that Sean McVay? I was like, oh my gosh, it is. So yeah, it is a different look for him. But their energy, who they are, how can you not respect the Rams and everything about their organizations? Sean McVay has turned them with Les Snead into one of the top-notch destinations in the whole sport. They got good ownership. They win, right? They're tough. They seem like they have fun doing it. where it's like they have a great blend of business type attitude, but nobody there ever seems to be beaten down by the way they approach things, right? You never hear players going, oh man, it's so brutal in LA, right? They kill you. They work you hard. They have a nice magic about them, and that's why they seem to go in every game believing with positive vibes. And it wasn't their night in a lot of ways last night. It wasn't. I mean, there was periods of the game where you went, man, the Bears are really dictating the flow of the football game, right? And that's where you look back at some of those fourth downs early in the game and you go, why didn't we kick field goals? That's the only thing I'm going to question about it. It's playoff football. Points are at a premium. It's a cold night. So that's where I just was surprised by that approach. But regardless, kudos to the Rams and their defense for making the timely plays and hanging in there in some big moments, like Matthew Stafford said.
Sean McVay still isn't 40.
He
turns 40 in 5 days.
It's incredible.
On the 24th.
Yeah.
And he has weathered that Dick Vermeil early career burnout storm, because we saw Vermeil with the Eagles, and he had gotten to the Super Bowl, and he got to the point where he had enough, went into TV for a long time before he came back to coach the Rams, and then later coached the Chiefs after that. But there was that period, and we all kind of knew what the talk was. Like, after the Super Bowl win, the window was open for him in TV,
right,
and he chose not to go through it.
Right.
A year later, the window wasn't open, and I think maybe a year later he would have gone through it if it was.
Right.
And after that is kind of when he rediscovered, because it was such the correction after the Super Bowl year, I think it took a lot out of him. And I think part of it too is, and this goes back to the Terry Bradshaw annual depression after they would win a Super Bowl. Like, okay, we just won a Super Bowl. Hooray. Now what?
Yeah. Right.
Oh, go try to do the same thing again we just did. Is there anything else that we can do? But at some point, you're building a legacy. You're winning as many as you can. And you decide you love the process. You like being around it. Whatever the outcome, that way you're spending your life getting your team ready, getting your guys ready. And I think McVay has discovered that that's where he finds his happiness, that it's not getting to the top of the mountain. It's the climb or the fall or whatever it may be. But it's that whole process of trying to put your best foot forward, trying to put your best team together, trying to get as high up toward the summit as you can. And for now, that has rejuvenated him, and he's found his balance. He's got a couple of kids now. Like, I just feel like he's found a great way to be as happy as he can be.
Agreed.
And he's riding it. And the Rams are going to keep riding it as long as he's there. Now, at some point, they're going to have to find a different quarterback, but I'm confident they will.
Yeah.
And whoever they get, he'll coach them up, and they'll go do their thing. So they're going to be contenders, it feels like, or
They're
at least
set
in the
up.
mix
They're set up
for years to come.
Yeah, it does feel that way. And he's a psycho, like we always talk about. All the great coaches are psychos in a good way, right? He's right in line with Ben Johnson or Shanahan or Vrabel or whatever else. They're just psychos. It's all ball all the time. They pull their hair out when things don't go the right way. They beat themselves up when they're away from the office, still thinking about football. Yeah, I think he got to a point there after the Super Bowl, married, right? He's starting to think about this future of his life. He's probably a little bit like, wait, my quarterback, I think, is getting a little older. Wait, we gave away all these picks. How long is it going to be how long will it take to rebuild our Rams football team? I think all of that kind of came to a head after that win against the Bengals in the Super Bowl, to where he thought about, maybe this is a time to step away and kind of rejuvenate myself. But regardless, he stayed there. And I think he stayed there too because he told people he was going to stay there, and people signed with the football team and were emotionally invested because they were like, wait, I came here because of you. I feel like there was a little bit of that, but yeah, you're right. It feels like he's got the sweet spot of being the psycho coach, but still being able to enjoy life and not burn himself out right now.
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.